Good morning and welcome to episode 31 of Thought Bubbles, Sparkling Insights into Community Engagement. My name's Becky and I'm coming to you from my office here in the beautiful McLaren Vale wine region, about 45 minutes south of Adelaide in South Australia. Today I'm going to be talking to you about online engagement, not in my usual hat of Becky Hurst Consulting. My usual hat of Becky Hurst Consulting is where I advise local government and state government around how to engage people in decision making and problem solving using face-to-face tools, using traditional tools and using online tools as well. But I'm going to be wearing my Winey Kids hat. Now Winey Kids is a business that I also run, which is all about promoting wine regions as really great places to visit as a family. And it came about from when we live in a wine region and we enjoyed it before we had kids, and we'd go out to nice places and we'd drink nice wine and we'd eat nice food, and then you have kids and you want to kind of continue living that nice lifestyle. And so it's a long story about how Winey Kids came about, but it came about, and we promote wine regions as good places to visit for families. Now, one of the major success factors of Winey Kids has been our Facebook page and the following that we've created on that Facebook page. We decided a couple of years ago to have an organic following, and it's been tempting at times to just click on the boost button and buy followers, if you like, advertise what we do. But we decided it would be more effective to actually let our page organically grow, slow and steady over the last few years. And it has done, and we reached around 5,500 followers, which isn't a big number on the scheme of things with some of these pages, but it was a highly engaged number. So whenever we would share something, we would get, and we still do, lots of likes and lots of comments and quite a few shares. It was always good. And when I'm saying lots, just to give you a bit of an idea of some of our usual reach, an average post, just a normal post with nothing particularly interesting in it, would reach around 1,000 people. A post that promotes a winery that is becoming family friendly or is family friendly and where we go and visit and we rave about it would reach probably 6,000 to 10,000 views. And that's organic. Again, that's not paying for boost. If we pop a little boost on that post, it does go a lot higher, up more around the 12 to 15,000 view mark. So really highly engaged and effective, and particularly effective because we built that organic following around sort of word of mouth. People would see what we were posting and they'd like the page because they were interested in its content. This is going to go somewhere, don't worry. I'm just setting the scene. So on Tuesday evening, Tuesday just gone, so 6 days ago, I was thinking about what I needed to do for the evening on Winey Kids. So basically with Winey Kids, we made this decision to have organic content, organic followers, and again, never buy followers, never advertise the page. But I'd also made a decision to generally try and post a couple of times a day, because as a rule of thumb, if you're wanting to create real momentum on a Facebook page, 2 posts a day keeps that momentum going, and it keeps your following just steadily increasing and that engagement there. So I'd normally do a post in the morning around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. And don't worry, I schedule a lot of them. Because a lot of mums that follow the page like me, I know that we're waking up at that sort of time, if not slightly earlier. And we're, before we get out of bed or before we start our day, we're having a quick check of Facebook. And that, I'm afraid, is the truth. That's what's happening these days. Then we'd have a post in the evening. So I always go and look at the insights on Facebook, and you can see the little peaks of time as to when people are using it. And generally between 8 p.m, 9 p.m, and maybe even 10 p.m, our followers are online. So we're generally trying to do a post that day. Now, the other rule I also have around creating content from Facebook for the Winey Kids page is give, take. I think I made up this rule, or forgive me if I've stolen it off somebody, but give, take is basically the idea that for every post, I'm going to give you 2 posts, and then I'm going to take something from you on the 3rd post, because otherwise, if it's just take, it's me asking, buy a ticket for our Mummy's Wine Club event, or even go to this event that we're promoting on behalf of a winery. That for me is the take. And you can't do too much taking, otherwise there's nothing interesting. You're just selling effectively. And people want that interesting, fun stuff. So the give is like, I'll give you something funny, I'll give you a bit of information where I'm not asking for anything back from you, and then I'll do a take. So the give, take. So basically Tuesday evening, I was in line to do, I should say I don't always follow that really strictly, but certainly generally try and keep an eye on what's been going on the page. On Tuesday evening, it was time to do a give you something that you want, something that's fun. And I've quite often shared, the funny posts that go around. And any of you that follow wine pages or parenting pages will be very familiar with them on Facebook. I'd seen flash up on my news feed a post from somewhere else that had said top 10 husbands' names that have driven us to drink wine tonight. Dan wasn't on it, I don't think. Anyway, I saw that and I thought, oh, those ones with names are really good because people like to sort of comment if their name's on it or not. And I thought, oh, that would be good because I could do something about mums drinking wine and I could use names of mums that are likely to be drinking wine because then they'll all comment and tag each other. Anyway, I decided to to put together this little image, and I can't share it with you right now because I'm on my computer and I've got my stats here ready to share with you, but basically I created an image with our logos at the bottom, the Winey Kids logo and the Mummies Wine Club logo, and I put at the top, top name, mums, I can't even remember what it says, mums that like to drink wine, the most wine. And then I thought, right, I need a list of names, I need a list of top 10 names or something. What names are going to be popular amongst mums in my kind of age group? And I was born in 78, so I decided to just look up the most popular baby girl names in 1980 in Australia, because that's where we're based and that's where our followers are. Anyway, for some reason I came up with a list of 18 names, put them in, done, shared it, put it on the Winey Kids page, and it was about 9 o'clock that evening, and somebody liked it. I was like, great. It's always a good sign for me on Facebook on a page is when you post it and within a few minutes you get a like at least, because that sort of sets you off. I've done something that people like. Anyway, I then did whatever, carried on doing whatever I want, and I know that the following morning I'd reached, I think, 53,000 people. And I know that because I shared it with a friend and said, hey, look at this, this is awesome. 0 paid views, and 53,000 people have seen it organically. Anyway, fast forward, that night, I remember putting a post on my personal Facebook page saying, holy schmoly, this post has reached 700,000 and it's creeping towards 1 million. And that just blew my mind, 1 million. We'd done a post once before that reached 200,000. Yeah, and that was mind-blowing in itself, and I was annoyed at that one because I hadn't got my logo on it. It was just somebody else's post that I'd shared. This one was great because it was heading towards 1 million and it had my logos on it, which is just what you want when you're managing a Facebook page. Anybody will know that who does it. So by that stage though, the comments had started coming in, and I was actually at a point, and I still haven't done it actually, where I was saying I'm going to need to turn the notifications off for this post because I, would just look at my phone and I'd just be scrolling through the notes. Somebody commented, somebody commented, somebody commented, somebody replied to somebody's comment, somebody commented, somebody commented. It kept going until I did reach 1 million, and then I got to a point where I couldn't keep up with the comments. There was something like 1,000 comments on there, and what dawned on me was, crikey, if this had been something controversial, and I was a comms team managing this post, to actually keep up with those comments, you would need an entire team of people reading them and responding to them. And even now, they're still going, the comments. In fact, let me share with you the numbers as it stands at the moment. So this is 6 days later, and this post of these mums' names who like to drink wine that were totally made up just by me sitting in bed with my laptop. And this is what's infuriated me as well, is that this is just twaddle, if I may use such a daggy word. This is twaddle. It's rubbish that I've put on social media and has been shared, and it frustrates me that the good stuff doesn't reach these numbers. But anyway, got my little insights here on my app, and at the moment this post has reached 6.5 million, 6,515,682 people. 6 million, that's amazing, and it's heading towards 7 million. I'm basically doing 1 million a day at the moment. Engagement-wise though, now this is what is important, because that's just the number of people that have seen it, but engagement-wise, we've actually only had 2,612 reactions. That's people saying they like it, or haha, or shock, and people have been saying angry because their name's not on it. Sorry, your name wasn't in the top 18 names born in Australia for girls in 1980. Comment-wise, 6,455 comments, and like I say, you actually can't keep up with it now. It's just gone ridiculous. And shares is where it's at, and that is where it's reached the big numbers, and that's 26,767 shares. 27,000 shares. And that's what you want, because my page is now being seen by all of those people. So it's Whiny Kids, such and such, Becky shared Whiny Kids photo. And that's great. Or is it? Well, here comes what happened then. So what you then notice starts happening. So you can tell by my accent, I live in Australia, but I'm originally from the UK. The post has definitely made it over to the UK, and that doesn't surprise me because a lot of my friends would have seen it when I've shared it, and naturally it would go. And I know that people that like Whiny Kids share it. But friends in the UK start saying, I'm seeing it everywhere. It's all over my newsfeed, but it's not being shared on the Whiny Kids page. It's other pages that have picked it up. And I thought, well, that's fine, because I do that with Whiny Kids. I see an image on somebody else's page, and I don't want my page to look messy, so I just save the image and then I share just the image. And generally it's got somebody's logo on it anyway, and I could see that. So there were pages sharing it that kept the Whiny Kids and the Mummy's Wine Club logo on the bottom. I thought, well, fair enough. If you can't share the actual page, at least it's still got our logo on it, and that feels good, because my logo is going around the world and has been seen by almost 7 million people. Brilliant. Does it convert to sales though? Are those people going to come to Mummy's Wine Club events? No, I don't think so. But anyway, for somebody's ego, it's still quite fun. And brand recognition, I should say. So, where was I going with that? So, basically, it's reached the UK. It's being used on pages with the logos on. But then, people were sending me images of it being used with the logos cropped off. It's lost all its nice high resolution. It's all gone all fuzzy. And somebody added their own logo to it. And that annoyed me a little bit until I thought, well, we're at a stage now where you can't control. When you put something online, it's online, and people grab it and they share it and they do their own thing with it. And I have done it many, many, many times. I've never replaced somebody's logo with my own. I think that's a little bit below the belt. But it's kind of out of your control once it's out there, and you can't get het up about it. People were saying, oh, you should sue them. I'm not about to sue people, but if maybe it had been some of my really good work that I'm very proud of, I'd have been annoyed, but it wasn't. It was something I just rustled together. Now, when I say, was it good that it's reached so many people? Quite a few people have asked, has our page seen an increase in the number of likers? And yes, it has. Not quite as you'd imagine. I mean, when it's almost about to reach 7 million people and we've had all those 26, 27,000 shares of the post, you'd assume that there's going to be a massive increase in our page. There hasn't been. There's been about 800 new likers as a result of this, which in comparison to the big numbers of the sharing and the commenting and the views, is quite small. But in comparison to the page following, our beautifully organically grown 5,500 followers who are all highly engaged and interested in our page, there's now 800 new people who have come from all over the world and who are following the page because it's called Whiny Kids and because they've seen their name on a graphic. And, oh, my name's Rebecca, I like drinking wine and I'm a mum. So now my challenge is, as the page for me is feeling a bit dirty, and I've lost control of that lovely niche, perhaps I'm a bit of a control freak, that audience that really, really engaged with the page. And time will tell now as we go forward on sharing posts about South Australia and about Whiny Kids and wineries that you can visit with your kids and wines that we're drinking. It will be interesting to see how the engagement levels change, because previously it was great and I'm getting nervous that it might not be as great. To flip it on its head, because I'm the eternal optimist, I've now got this new chunk of the followers who are interested in wine and who are parents, and perhaps they are people that we can be promoting wine regions of Australia to on an international scale. Or maybe they could be the ones that we've always talked about doing this, the ones that could help us to be promoting our Mummy's Wine Club events and start running them in Singapore or Hong Kong or the UK or the US. So I shouldn't look at it negatively, but certainly the dynamic of the change of the page has slightly changed. And I'll give you one quick example before I go, because we're at 15 minutes already. One example is I posted a local, there was an outdoor cinema night happening down in McLaren Flat on Saturday night. I posted it, the first person to respond did an angry face. And they were angry because I assumed, well, they just followed the page that day. We checked out who they were, and they were from the northeast of the UK. And they're not interested in what's going on locally because they're only following the page because they've liked it, blah, blah, blah. You get it. So that's kind of oh, such a shame. But, so why was it a success to wrap up? Now, I've been thinking about this. Was it a success? I don't know. Yes, it's good to get your brand out there and recognised and seen by so many people. Brilliant. there was an element of strategy behind it because I was creating content that looked good, that matched my brand, that, you know, the colours were right, the logos were on it. I chose popular names of people that I knew that used Facebook. I mentioned the words wine and I mentioned the words mum, which I knew would be popular in general. Timing, I shared the post at about 9 p.m, 5 minutes to 9 on a Tuesday evening. That's a high usage time. I didn't do that consciously that night, but I'd set up the routine of when I was posting. So that might have gone in my favour, I suspect it did. Particularly, there was already a base, so I wasn't starting and sharing a page on sharing an image on a page that had 100 followers. I was sharing it on a page that had 5,500 followers of people that were built beautifully and organically to 5,500 followers. And they already love wine and they already love kids, so I knew, and their names were very likely to be in that list. So that was a kind of obvious that it was going to be a success. So the strategy, the names, picking the names, the timing, and having a fan base already were certainly the sort of kickstarters to reaching 7 million, almost 7 million views. So yeah, so that's it. That's my lesson so far. I probably will have to follow up with you in a week or two, or maybe even a month or two, just to let you know how things have gone and how I personally have grown to re-love the page that has now got these new followers from all around the world. And I know that many of you will comment and say, embrace it, Becky. They're going to, these are people that we could be doing some international destination marketing to, and that's great, but that's just changing my headset. On a final note, I'm taking a break from sharing anything fun. And I don't mean fun like I'm going to keep sharing wineries that you can visit and wines that we're drinking and that sort of thing, but I'm not going to do the trash anymore. Because the trash, it's trash, and I think the internet is full of trash, and it doesn't sit well with me adding more trash to the internet, and I don't know that it's particularly good to reach that many people unless it's converting into something really good. And leave it with me, we'll see what we'll do with that post from here and how the journey continues. But that's enough for me. Longest thought bubbles ever, just heading towards 18 minutes, but I hope you're still with me and I hope that you've learned something from this and it can inspire you in some way to either create a viral post or to just steer well clear of trying to create viral posts. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.